Hi there, welcome to the video. This is going to be something a little bit different and I hope kind of fun. I'll keep it quick, but I also don't have a ton to say about it because this is a fan project called the Spongebob Squarepants Movie Rehydrated. It's basically one of those reanimation projects that have been very trendy over the last few years. Shrek Retold is probably the most famous. There's a Steamed Hams reanimation project, there's a Nichijou reanimation project, and probably many, many more. Personally, I'm completely on board with this trend, and that's kind of the big headline here, because even looking at this stuff in great detail and even trying to search for some kind of negative to this whole thing, I don't see one. And the only hypothetical situation I can think of is if somehow like the people hosting or organizing the whole project end up making money from the thing while the individual animators who create segments don't. But I haven't heard of that happening. I don't know whether or not a project like this can even earn money legally because it's so dependent on the existing property that it's based on. Who could be mad at this? Like, who could have a problem with reanimation projects? It's on one hand, it's a way for animators to get their work out there. Audiences get a new interpretation of a property they almost definitely already love. It's just kind of neat and heartwarming that this stuff is possible via the internet. And for that reason too, because this isn't like a big professional production, because this is not something that I think is bringing in a bunch of money, if any money at all, I'm not going to go in and critique like some of the tiny issues that I have with certain animated segments or with like audio recording and mastering. Like, no, it's not really worth it. This is just a fun little project. Well, not little. I think this one in particular required literally hundreds of animators. They all have nice little credits at the end. It's just a good time, and it's interesting too because the SpongeBob SquarePants movies, I mean, it's a movie I grew up with. I saw it in theaters, of course, on release. I still have fond memories of it, but in a way, this version of that movie sort of highlighted some of the less desirable aspects of the original movie, like some of the dialogue, especially exposition dialogue, is just kind of trashy. And then at the same time, it really highlights those moments that you loved as a kid, the really funny sort of internet-friendly clips and such, character moments that are a lot of fun. It's a new and interesting way to look back at a property that you already know a whole lot about and that you've probably seen many times before. Some of the specific sequences, I mean, there are way too many to point out that are some of my favorites. I have screenshots here throughout the video of some of my favorite bits and some of my favorite visuals. One of these, I don't know, maybe even like a handful of these animators are somehow capable of doing basically 100% on-model recreations of our cast, our lead characters here. And it's so impressive because some of those segments almost look better than the original show or the movie in a certain sense. I'll even highlight one of the animators here who just did some fantastic work on like a very accurate representation, which would almost seem out of place in a project like this, but it works because it contrasts heavily with a lot of the other segments, which include, you know, CG stuff, stop motion, toys, puppets, all sorts of different types of video. It's a fun romp. It is kind of long. I don't know if these reanimation projects are really something to watch in one big sitting. It's kind of good to space them out or revisit certain clips when you really want to. But outside of that, yeah, I have very positive feelings about the project overall. I'm very impressed by the people who put this together and all the animators who contributed. So applause, applause. Good work, everybody. Yeah, honestly, I think that's about it. You can just watch the whole thing on YouTube right now, so I'll leave a link there for you to get to it. And that's it. That's all for now. Thanks for stopping by.